University of Michigan great Braylon Edwards, and of course, Maz are about to take over on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best sports network, Woodward Sports.
Hey, let's go. Friday show, April 18th, 2025. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button, subscribe to Woodward Sports. Over 80,000 subscribers on that platform. If you're watching on X, good afternoon to you. Over 100,000 followers there. Braylon Edwards on a Good Friday. Good afternoon to you, my friend.
Happy Good Friday to everybody out there. I started to go to church, but instead my pops hit me up and said he wanted to get around the golf fans. So, ladies and gentlemen, first round is in the books.
Yeah, man.
Willows is where it happened at. Played okay. Didn't play too bad. Finished strong.
How'd you like that course?
I played it a couple times. It's cool.
Oh, yeah.
It's got a couple nuances for you. It's got a lot of dog leg lefts, a lot of dog leg rights. So, you got to make sure you play your fade and make sure you play your draw.
Yeah, you got to pull out every club on that
pull
one.
it out.
But the pause on that, Maz. The greens are where they get you at Whispering Willows because it's a lot of hill on those greens, a lot of false fronts. So
don't overshoot it.
It was easy peasy. Didn't keep score. You know how it is. First round didn't keep score. Feeling good to be glad to be here with you guys. And ladies and gentlemen, there's a playoff game tomorrow.
There is. I have a golf question.
That features a Detroit team.
I have a golf question for you in a minute, though. I want to say hello to Tom Mazawey. Tom Mazawey, good afternoon.
Hey, buddy. You didn't have a chance to take your tie
Bro,
off today.
I have been running today like you wouldn't even believe. It's fine. I'm here. We're good to go.
You're still Clark Kent.
Rocking and rolling.
You're still Clark Kent.
Locked in, baby.
Hey, good to see everybody. Have a great Easter weekend.
Absolutely.
Starts with Good Friday tonight.
Ricky Burns, of course, with us. And again, we are
spin mode.
We're just enjoying our time with the Spen Daddy, dude. Spenny, baby. How are you?
Doing good. Appreciate you guys for having me. It's always a lot of fun. I just wanted to get a quick shout out on this Good Friday to St. Anne's Fish Fry. They've been hooking me up throughout Lent, all Lent long. So they're going to be over at Coonan Brewing Company on 13 and Mound. Make sure you go over there and get a plate if you're looking for a fish fry.
That's fantastic.
Make sure you say hi to Father Adam for me.
Say hi to Father Adam.
That's
Let's
right.
know you got those videos because Ricky, you asked me. I gotta let you know that the swing was alright. So swing wasn't too bad today.
Okay,
Swing
that's
wasn't
good.
too
First
bad.
time out, that's good.
Hey, let me ask you a quick golf question because we were talking about this earlier today on The Nine on Fox 2, and it was in relation to slow golfers.
Yeah.
Because last week, the chairman of Augusta National came out and said that they are working with a second-tier level tour on the PGA Tour, and they are going to institute, not really, but just for lack of a better way to describe it, institute a pitch clock, essentially, to pick up the pace of these golfers because slow play on the golf course is such a problem, whether you're a hack down here playing at golf course down the street or whether you're a pro player. It is causing people to stay away from the course. It's causing a lot of friction at the course. In fact, I just watched it before I saw this story today. I watched a video yesterday of two foursomes in Canada. The foursome in front was playing so slow that the two got together. One guy broke the other guy's jaw.
I think I saw that video.
Yes.
I actually think I've seen a couple of them.
And I think it is time for golf to institute something like that. And again, it's not a pitch clock, but for the ease of describing what they want to do with speeding up the game, I think that is a really good thing.
Yeah, no, what happened was back in the day, well, not back in the day, when I first started golfing, the sport started picking up in 97, but it picked up to the people that really wanted to play it. It didn't pick up as a trend.
Yeah.
People that were starting to play, they got in because of Tiger or whatever, but they wanted to play. So, you figure out. Like, true, 100% it's because of Tiger.
Yep.
That I agree with you, Matt. But now golf has gotten so trendy. Golf has gotten so sexy. If you're on a golf course, you can get women. If you're on a golf course, you're signing deals. If you're on a golf course, you have friends. Now you got a bunch of guys golfing that don't know what the hell they're doing, and they don't care about the rules.
Yeah.
They don't care. Once you start having cannabis on the course, which I'm not judging because once you start getting the music on the course, I'm not judging because I do it as well. But it made it really lackadaisical. And cats now, 4 is the most players that are supposed to play in a group and around.
Yeah.
You'll look on the tee box, see 6 guys going off.
I
Or
had-
7, and then you have females, and it's like
Yeah.
there's no respect for the rules. There's no respect for the etiquette. So I don't have a problem with this. Who am I to judge? I'm a guy that, like today, I'll drop another ball if I'm teeing off and there's nobody behind me and things
Sure.
of that nature.
Yeah, but there's nobody behind you. That's the key.
True, but when you
pay
start
attention.
doing that and the people are picking up golf and they don't know that, they don't
Yeah.
realize, there's only dropping a couple because there's no one behind. So you get to doing that when people are there.
Yeah.
Oh, why just drop another? Why just drop another? Why
Nah.
No, it doesn't work like that. Like everybody's trying to enjoy a 9 or
Yeah.
8. Or 18. So I actually like it. I think it's gonna be good because I get frustrated working on myself and working on patience, but you get frustrated. You see guys shooting the breeze up there, and they have more than ample time to shoot or get off. So, I'm for it.
It's
'Cause
too long.
annoying.
Golf, and I used to play in high school with my friends. We'd go to the driving range. We'd have some fun. We'd go to the par 3s. 18 holes to me is long. It's long.
Yeah.
It's too long. So it's not for me. It bored me. But when I'm watching it on TV last week, and even the Masters, to me it dragged. And especially when it's not even a major. Let's just say it's a regular old PGA thing.
Yeah.
If they sped it up, I'd probably enjoy it more. As a novice, as a fan, that I love Tiger Woods. That's why I watched golf. And then when I grew up, I was a Jack Nicklaus fan. No question. Arnie was old coming in, and Jack was the guy. If baseball can do it, golf can do it. Baseball's better now. It is. It's better that you don't see the pitcher thrown over 6 times to first base. Golf can be better. No question.
I kind of was talking about the country clubs, just the regular public novice golfer, but getting into, I guess, the PGA Tour and how it is. I don't mind it on the PGA Tour at the end of the day because you're not watching it wire to wire. You're not watching Thursday from whenever they tee off at 10:50 until 4. You're not watching Friday from noon to 6. You're not watching. So I don't mind it in that space. I'm going to watch a little bit of golf here. There's, on Sunday. You watch from 2 to 7. That's 5 hours with my feet kicked up on the couch as I was flipping the channels through other things. So I don't think that's a big deal in terms of what they're doing. You have to lean into the fun side of things. I think that's what the PGA is doing.
So one of the things I want to read this in the chat from Cody Engel because this is absolutely spot on. Cody, thanks for the comment, and of course being a loyal viewer here on Woodward Sports. And everybody's got a lot of great suggestions, but Cody hits this, and I put the link to the story if you want to read it for yourself. It's a Wall Street Journal story from yesterday. I put that in the chat as well. Play from the correct tee box.
Yes.
Like seriously, okay? Don't play from the blues if you can't hit from the blues.
Great call.
So I got a story about this. So last year was like my first year, like actually like taking it serious, and we were at a course, and a guy got paired with me. He asked me where we were playing, and I played like the tee right behind the ladies' tee. He was like, "Man, I respect that," because most people try to go back here where I'm hitting, and they just can't. I'm like, "Nah, man, I'm actually." Like, somebody told me the first thing is, like, if you're bad, be bad fast.
Right.
So I go up there. I don't even take practice swings most of the time. I just go.
And then be prepared as well, because the second point here, don't look for 20 minutes for the ball that you know is gone. I could not agree with that more. That point is actually mentioned in this article here by the Wall Street Journal. If you don't have enough balls to play, just don't come, because you hit a ball into the marsh and you're looking for 20 minutes for your ball that, again, you know is lost. You know you're not going to find. You have to just drop and move on. And then this is a big one as well. I know etiquette is such a part of golf. Ready golf, man.
Ready golf.
Ready golf. You don't have to wait whoever's behind this, that, and the other thing. What's the etiquette of the game? And I think that golf is a gentleman's game, is a game of etiquette. But at some point, in order to speed it up, you have to play ready golf. I think those are extremely positive things that the game can solve, that you can solve on your own as a player.
And you have to take your ego out of it. And to expound on what you said, a lot of the other issues is the seniors. The seniors that have been hitting from the regular tees for a very long time and that are good golfers, they get to 65 and 60. Well, I think seniors are 62. In golf, 63, they get to 63, and they're still playing from the blacks. 64, 65, ball's not going as far. It's hurting them trying to keep up with the younger guys. It's okay. And like you said, if you're not a great golfer, don't play from the blacks. It's about ego. I'm going to play from the blacks. So they playing from the blacks. So I'm going to show you how far I can hit. It doesn't even matter if you get a drive off this 300 yards.
Right.
What does your approach shot look like?
Exactly.
What does your short game look like? Can you putt on those types? So I agree with that 100%. Spinny's got the video before we got up.
Hey, bowling is the same, guys.
Yeah.
Honestly, when I'm bowling and we have it, our team, we bowl quick.
Yeah.
If the team we're bowling is really slow, it kills our vibe.
Yeah.
Totally.
I'm talking about bowling.
Yeah.
All right, so it's a gentleman's game as well. So you try to keep up. Don't just fart around. We all play poker and bowl at the same time. They all drink. We all eat. But you got to be ready. When the shot's done, get up and get your shot done. It's common courtesy.
No doubt.
Spin more racks. Spin those videos. Ricky, you tell me what you think.
This from today?
This is today.
That's a gorgeous swing.
Yeah.
You didn't like it, though, off the tee.
Yeah.
Because it didn't go dead straight. It went to the right. It went just inside the sand
We
trap.
need that ball track. That's a gorgeous swing, Braylon.
And that one felt good.
Look at that finish.
Beautiful.
Look at that finish. Straight
Wow.
up. That balance.
See
is
that
straight
right
up.
there?
Wow.
Getting the hips around. Oh, yeah.
That's Rory McIlroy right there.
I don't know about that, but it looked all right. It looked all right. So, you know, we're working. But golf is fun. Just like anything, man. Just be cognizant.
Yeah,
Like,
pay
just
attention,
be cognizant.
please.
Like,
Very nice.
it's very simple to be cognizant. Hey, why don't you pick? Like, tell your teammates, hey, why don't you pick up? Hey, you don't have to spark one every hole.
Yeah.
Hey, you don't have to take a shot every hole. Hey, you don't have to fidget with the DJing situation when it's
let it
your
go.
turn to shoot the shot.
That's
Right.
why I only play in scrambles, man.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, scrambles are the best. Yeah.
Oh, you don't gotta sit there looking at that 5-foot putt for 2 minutes.
Right,
Just pick
that's
that
all
up.
I want
Take
to
that up.
play.
There we go. That's good. Come on.
Oh, my gosh. Guys, big playoff game coming up tomorrow night in New York. For the first time since 2019, the Detroit Pistons will play a playoff game. And first and foremost, you know, I have to give a shout out to our team here at Woodward Sports. Those guys last night that did the playoff preview, Kool-Aid and Flannel and Chris, those guys are special guys. I am honored to call those guys teammates, man. Here early in the morning.
They love hoops.
Here late at night. They're so excited for Pistons playoff basketball.
It's like Christmas for them.
I just wanted to give a shout out to them and alert everybody that they did do a playoff Pistons preview last night. It is on our Woodward Sports YouTube. And just kudos to them. Couldn't be prouder to be teammates with those guys.
No, I definitely agree. Yesterday before the show was over, we had a chance to see Chris Pratty. I think he was still in the studio. I love Chris, man. I love him since he's been here. But
Lot
you're
of energy.
absolutely correct. From Kool-Aid to Chris, those guys, they care about this network and they care about those Detroit Pistons, man. And they work hard. So I'm glad we're getting some love here on the show. And they had a lot of insight too. I'm glad you brought that up. So
see that.
They
get
got
a chance,
pre-game
check that
tomorrow,
Yeah.
5 o'clock here. on
Watch
Woodward.
party.
Chris
And
and
then the
Kool-Aid
watch
on the
party.
desk.
Then the watch party after. Who's doing it? Who's manning it?
Chris and Kool-Aid will be on the desk for the pregame show. Me and Easy are going to be downtown for the Tigers game, and then we're going to roll in here.
Oh, man. I can only
Nice
imagine.
and ripe.
Hopefully you got Uber.
They gonna need it.
For sure.
They gonna be ripe for the cameras.
Yeah,
man.
it's going to be a good time. And then I think the post-game show will be Kool-Aid and Anson, I believe. Chris on the Maz chair. I'll be TD in that one. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Let me take this in order, guys. Tonight is the final night of the NBA play-in game. So in the Eastern Conference, 7 p.m., Heat versus the Hawks. Really curious to see what Atlanta can do. I mean, again,
Nothing.
they're gonna blow this thing up, aren't they?
Yeah.
Trae Young, after they
He's
lose
gone.
tonight, because
that's hilarious.
look, Miami's a favorite on the road in Atlanta tonight. So the winner of this game will get the 8th seed, and they will play Cleveland in round 1. And again, if I'm Cleveland, I'm just going to say it right now. If I'm Cleveland, I do not want to play Miami. Just don't want to do it. Some way, somehow, seemingly every postseason, it appears that Eric Spoelstra gets his guys ready. And I know they don't have Jimmy Butler, but that is as good of an organization as they're like the Pittsburgh Steelers, I would say, to me. The Miami Heat. They're always making the playoffs. They're probably not going to go very far here and there once in a while. Probably not good enough to win a championship, but they're not going to make it to the lottery ever and get a high draft pick either. You know, so Miami feels like the Pittsburgh Steelers of the NBA.
No, that's a good comparison, man. I just got one name and one song from the 80s. I need a hero. Tyler Hero, baby. 16 points in the first quarter. Look, 38 points overall.
Yeah.
Well, 16 in the first quarter on 8 of 8, or 6 of 6 shooting. But no, he steps up. And you said some way, somehow, look, Eric Spoelstra is one of the best NBA coaches in the last 25, 30, 40 years, you want to say. He knows how to get his guys prepared. It had nothing to do with, well, I don't want to go that far, but he knows how to get his guys prepared. And he does it every year, whether it's LeBron, whether it's no LeBron. He finds a way, and this is what he's doing. Pat Riley also is in the building, so there's a lot of basketball genius surrounding the Miami Heat. They'll beat the Atlanta Hawks and Trae Young, and it'll be another Atlanta Hawk team that gets dismantled, disappeared, and they'll start over. But it'll be the Miami Heat, and it's because of Pat Riley, it's because of Eric Spoelstra, it's because of Bam Adebayo, who's an Olympic gold medalist, as well as Tyler Hero, who can play well in the play-in.
By the way, Pat Riley is retiring from the Heat at the end of this season.
I didn't even know that.
He's calling it
When
quits.
did this happen?
I read it the other day. He's stepping away. It's time.
And he should, by the way. Braylon's right.
Stay home with his wife, Chris. All those years they've been together. Side note, the Heat have knocked out the Bulls the last 3 play-in games. Years. The last 3 play-in years. The Heat have knocked out the Bulls. 3 in a row. And they crushed them the other night. So the Bulls they're another team that needs to redo a team.
Yeah, no, the thing with Pat Riley, if he's retiring from the game, we'll talk about that at some point. I know Maz want to probably lead that. Amazing coach, amazing front office individual. Like Pat Riley, you think like he's one of those guys, when you think basketball, he's one about the first 10 names that comes up.
I think he was the coach of the Knicks the last time the Pistons played the Knicks in the postseason as well, in the playoffs.
Yep.
100%.
92 maybe.
Or was Van Gundy?
It was 92. I think
No,
that
it
was
was-
still.
no, it was Pat Riley.
I think that was still
it was
Pat
92?
Riley.
Oh, yeah, Riley was 92.
But he should leave after the situation with Jimmy Butler. Now, I'm not saying with Jimmy Butler and all that. I'm not talking about or speaking who was right, who was wrong. Jimmy Butler got you to 2 finals appearances. You should have found a way. But the old school Pat Riley, not trying to give in to the players, kind of reminiscent of LeBron, then he didn't want it back. He stood on his ground, and then you lost Jimmy Butler. You can't lose a guy to get you to 2. Jimmy Butler had no business getting them to 2 Eastern Conference Finals. He beat 2 number 1 seeds to do so. Pat Riley's got to go.
This is a conversation for another day, but I'd be curious to see perhaps if Eric Spoelstra pulls a Brad Stevens and says, I'm done coaching, and go be the president and takes Riley's job.
I would not be surprised.
He's just going through a divorce himself. You know, the coaching profession is a killer profession to be in. I mean, it just kills you. It kills your personal life. It kills it's just a killer of a life. And I think he's seeing that right now after 15, 16, 17 years, whatever it is, with the Heat as the head coach. My goodness, that would probably be a likely destination for Spoelstra, I would think. Let me ask you this. A second play-in game tonight, 9:30 p.m. ESPN. It is the Mavericks at the Grizzlies. Who is this a bigger game for tonight? Is it AD and Klay Thompson for Dallas or Ja Morant in the Memphis Grizzlies?
He might not play.
He is questionable for the game tonight.
I wrote on Twitter he was out of bullets.
You know, man, that was pretty funny. You know, ask Spencer first. Let me think about it. Spencer, you get that answer.
Is it
Bigger game tonight for AD and Klay Thompson in Dallas or Ja Morant in Memphis?
I think it's Ja Morant in Memphis. You look at what Dallas has with AD and Klay Thompson. You know who they are. You know what they are. They're already established in the NBA, and they're missing their best player in Kyrie Irving. I think Ja Morant is still trying to capture that glory that he had when he first came into the league as, oh, this is the next kid. He's going to be the face of the NBA. Look at what he and then he's kind of fallen off. Obviously, the off the court stuff doesn't help, but his play has fallen off as well, and the team's success hasn't been there. So I think he wants to get back into that conversation where he sees Kate Cunningham almost surpassing him already as like a face of the NBA in this league. I think he wants to get into that again, and you have to win playoff games to do that.
I like that a lot. I'm going to go on the opposite side of it, though, Spenny, in all due respect. I'm going to just say it like this. AD, the whole conversation with AD and Jason Kidd in the front office is, well, we got AD for Luka Doncic. AD came out and said, like, don't act like I'm not AD. It's not me here. So as good as AD is, when he was with the Lakers, what did we say about him? He may be the best defender in the game. He may be better than LeBron at this point in the game offensively. With all that being said, this is your team. I don't care that Kyrie Irving's not playing. You still have enough. Klay Thompson has been to enough big game moments where he can help you as well. I think it's on AD. AD wants to get from out the conversation about him not being able to do it on his own. Needed LeBron or et cetera. This is a good moment. This is the play-in still. Like, you're talking about AD, an individual that's been in the MVP the last couple of years in the league, playing in the play-in with a team that's good enough, playing against a Memphis Grizzlies team. Last time I checked, didn't they fire their coach? Mm-hmm. Isn't John Morant's ankle bothering him a little bit? I think it's a bigger game for AD. Not AD and Clay, but just AD.
I would love to see the Mavericks win this game, and they're a 6.5-point underdog. First, I didn't want them to win any play-in games because I wanted to see them go into the lottery.
And get the number one pick.
And get the number one pick. Because it's not right.
They'll make it up to them.
Yeah, make it up to them. But now that they're winning,
like
man,
the NBA did with Kyrie Irving when LeBron left.
Exactly.
And Zion when Anthony Davis left.
Listen, if they win this game, who would they wind up playing in the West?
OKC.
Oof.
If they could shock OKC, can they play the Lakers?
Yeah.
Well,
I would pay dearly to see the Mavericks and the Lakers, and the Mavericks punch them in the mouth and beat them.
Here's where I feel like NBA fans do get cheated, though. And call me crazy. If Kyrie Irving was healthy for this game and whatever, I believe that Dallas, not OKC and not the Lakers, would be the favorite to make it to the NBA Finals. Ooh. Kyrie, AD, and Clay, I'm sorry. That, to me, is the best team in the Western Conference. I understand. Long term, you hate the trade of Luka. Long term, you hate the trade. Short term, I think this was as formidable a team as any. Now, you can call me crazy. You can tell me I don't know anything.
You're not crazy.
And we'll never know because we don't get to see it. But Kyrie, AD, and Clay is as good as any top three players that any team in the West has.
I'm not going to disagree because when the trade happened, I argued both of you that I liked it for the Dallas Mavericks.
Short term.
I argued both of you. I say that, both of you guys, because I thought for the short-term purpose, Kyrie, this is what he needs. This is another chance for Kyrie. Kyrie's acting on a clip. Last year you saw he did in the playoffs. Now you add AD, and now you add Clay. I thought this was a good team. You had Gafford, the rebounding skills he gives you, the defense that he gives you, the rim protecting that he gives you. They're players on this team, but you don't have Kyrie. They could have really did some damage in this playoffs, to your point, if they would have had. They don't, but they still can get past the Memphis Grizzlies. This is a team that nobody had anything to say positive about in the last 6 weeks after they fired their coach. So beat them.
So here, tonight is a perfect example of why I do like the play-in.
John Morant's nice.
Dallas lost Anthony Davis for much of the year, most of the rest of the season after the trade to injury. And sans the ability to get a play-in, your injured player, you're out of the playoffs. It gives teams that lose games because of an injury, it gives you a chance to get back in it. It gives you a chance to stay alive and give your players time to get healthy and be back in the game. This is the positive aspect of the play-in. Otherwise, I hate the play-in because a team like Atlanta probably not going to do anything. A team like Memphis probably not going to do anything. But it does give the ability, if you have an injured player, gives your team an opportunity to get that player back healthy like Dallas did with AD.
That's the only thing, too, about this with Memphis is if they didn't fire their coach, you look at him, I mean, Desmond Bane gave you 30 last game.
I like him. He's nice.
Like Desmond Bane, you still have Jay-Z on the team. There's still some players on this team. And even John Morant, if his ankle wasn't bothering him, his last 5 games, he's been lighting it up. He was averaging 30 points a game in his last 5 games, and he rolled his ankle and he had 22. So if his ankle was healthy, with the West, with Denver firing their coach and some other things that are happening, do you really trust the Lakers? Phoenix is gone. Houston is super young. So to your point, if they had Kyrie, this could be a whole different playoffs, but they don't. And we'll see what they can do.
Guys, you're going to hear from JB Bickerstaff. You'll hear from Cade Cunningham. You'll hear from them next. Also, NFL Draft, less than a week away. We're going to play a little over or under as well with
it's still a top 10.
Detroit Lions. We've got a Braylon top 10. We are packed and loaded today on a Good Friday. But first, a message from Buddy's Pizza. Hey, if If you're going to order pizza tonight, why not get that Detroit Original cheese-style pizza? Since 1946, 79 years, or veggie, why not? Go for it. 79 years later, 22 locations in the state of Michigan. Download the Buddy's Pizza mobile app. Start earning today. Add some Detroit style to your next meal. Save 10% off your entire order using promo code 10MEAL. That's the number 10, MEAL. Buddy'sPizza.com. Buddy'sPizza.com.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. Head to WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com. The bats are hot, and the weather is getting hotter. Summertime in the D with Detroit's big hitters. Woodward Sports. The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
2, 1. Follow us on all social media platforms. Woodward Sports is the best social presence in Detroit, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, X, Facebook, TikTok, or Twitch. You know Woodward Sports is on and popping on those sites. So make sure you go follow us on Woodward Sports everywhere at Woodward Sports. Social media takeover.
A lot of people around here are excited for tomorrow night's Pistons game in New York, 6 p.m., Game 1 on ESPN. Mike Breen, the voice of the NBA, will have the call on that one with Richard Jefferson and Doris Burke. Cade Cunningham, though, talked about what it's going to be like. And, again, you got 2 games in New York, but talked about what it's going to be like to have playoff basketball returning to Detroit. Here's what he had to say about that.
Yeah, super motivated. Haven't seen playoff basketball in Detroit, so it's since I've been here, obviously, but in a long time. So it's exciting. Ready to see how LCA rocks out. And I think it'll be fun. It'll be great to get some wins here.
He's so excited, man. I mean, this is what people wanted when he was taking round 1. Yeah. Round 1, pick 1. And again, he was on the cover of the New York Post sports page today, the back page.
Yep.
What was Ready? Something about a villain. I don't know. I don't have it in front of me right now.
Ready, aim, villain.
Ready, aim, villain. Yeah. I mean, it was great, whatever it was.
They basically said Cade could be the next guy MSG hates.
Yeah.
That's what they said. That's an honor to be hated at MSG.
Yeah, look, 2019 wasn't Pistons basketball. Yeah, they made the playoffs, but that wasn't Pistons basketball. You know, they lost to the Milwaukee Bucks, and they averaged 30 points in that series in terms of winning by 30 in that series. So that was playoff basketball. That wasn't the Pistons basketball that we know from the future. This is different. Like you said, they drafted Cade Cunningham. They believed in Cade Cunningham, and now that guy is taking off this year. You see the Slam magazine that Anson so held up to the camera a couple days ago. It's exciting. He's playing at an all-pro level. The guys around him, his supporting cast, man, those guys are physical. Those guys are in the scrum with you, and they got a guy that can lead, and that's JB Bickerstaff.
They couldn't have picked a better team to play against. Mm-hmm. They could not have picked a better team to play against. This guy, Cade Cunningham, loves the spotlight. He's going to love the bright lights of Madison Square Garden. He is.
He averages over 30 there in his career.
Yeah. And I think the least amount of points he had against the Knicks this year was 36. I mean, it was he's dominated the Knicks this year. Ready, Villain, and Able.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Ready, Villain, and Able.
Great.
And it had like Reggie Miller and Trae Young.
Yep.
I don't know who the other guy is. He's a third player on that. I don't know who that is, but
I got to look at that.
They'll let you know. Like when the media of the
Tim Hardaway.
Tim Hardaway, senior or junior?
Senior.
Oh,
no,
senior.
that's not Tim Hardaway.
That's what it
Let me
says.
see. Just turn the screen.
It says Tim Hardaway next to the picture.
That's Trae Young.
No, that's
Under.
Trae Young. That's Reggie Miller. Who's that?
Tim Hardaway.
That's not Tim Hardaway. Is what I'm trying to tell you.
Oh, this one says it is. Oh, you're looking at the picture. Okay, we're looking at two different things. This one. All right.
It does look like Richard Jefferson, but
No, it ain't RJ.
I don't know who
PJ
that
Brown.
No.
Is it PJ Brown?
PJ
Oh,
Brown.
I think so.
Oh, PJ Brown.
Yeah.
of
The
the Heat.
Heat.
Yes.
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 There you go.
Sorry about that for the
Let me send this to Spenny. He'll throw it
Yeah,
up.
I was talking about something that you guys can't see. Sorry
Oh, yeah.
about that.
PJ Brown. Yeah, they were those Heat Knicks rivalry, which is crazy because they were heated, no pun intended. And then what does Pat Riley do? He turns around and goes to Miami, and then makes them even more heated. So it was interesting.
Burn, $5. Get to a Pistons game early and watch Cade come onto the court. You'll love the guy. He greets every announcer and security guard. It's authentic.
He's a humble superstar. He's a humble superstar. It's what the city wants. It's what the city asked for. This is a guy, he's not going to go out there and jaw with the refs or complain or cry or anything. He's going to go out there. He's going to give you 30. It's going to be an ethical performance. He's not foul baiting. He's just getting buckets. So I love Cade Cunningham. He is slowly climbing up my list of favorite Detroit athletes ever. Like, if he wins the championship, he'll be in the top 4.
Facts.
Look how he compares it. Look, you just said a humble superstar in Detroit. Calvin Johnson, can't get more humble. Barry Sanders. Come on, man. Really? I mean, Al Kaline. For sure. These are the Steve Eiserman.
Yep.
All superstars. All gentlemen superstars.
If Cade wins, well, before the title, Cade messes around and wins his second playoff series, like the people will love him more than Barry and Calvin, realistically.
Yeah.
And
People love a winner in this town.
Yeah.
because Barry is still one of those things where, and Stick does it all the time.
Barry.
Sorry, Stick. I don't like how he quit. A lot of Lions fans feel that way. So you have that on Calvin Johnson. Like, I don't think he quit. A lot of Lions fans, they beg to differ. Well, his body wasn't that beat up and blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
I'm telling you, Cade Cunningham, like, it's everything that Spinney said. He wins 2 playoff series, he'll be above those two guys right there.
Greg says, Ryan, take off your tie. Greg, if I take off this tie, it's staying here for a week. I don't know where I'll find it. We're going to do a Braylon Top 10. I do want to play JB Bickerstaff with you for you real quick. JB Bickerstaff talking about the Detroit fans, and then we'll do a Braylon Top 10.
I mean, it's been that way as long as I can remember. Again, I grew up watching the Bad Boys play. You think about the city of Detroit, the people from Detroit. Nothing's ever easy, right? It's all hard-earned, and it's a mindset of a workmanship mentality. And I think, again, we try our best to connect our guys to the fan base, and that's what our fans want to see. Is they want to see, a team that they can relate to, and that's what our guys are. Like what we do for our fans. There's no doubt about it. And so, when you want to reflect the image of this city, you want to earn.
Wednesday after I left, here, Ready, Villain, and Able. I tell you, they're worried. Like when New York starts talking about you, they're worried. I played in New York. I saw the players that they talked about.
Spenny.
Those were players that you worried about. Randy Moss. Whenever we played the Patriots, you would see him in the pub. Whenever we would play, anyway. Yes, was a Wednesday. Walked in the market after the show. Saw the Hammer. Hammer told me to tell you guys hello.
no
by
kidding.
the way, the Hammer told me to tell you hello.
Shout out.
2 other people were in there. 2 other individuals were in there, and I walked up, was introduced by the Hammer. It was JB Bickerstaff, and it was Luke Walton. JB Bickerstaff he was just chilling. He was relaxing. He was enjoying the meal. He was cool. Got a chance to go up to him and talk to him. The reason why I bring this up, it was the demeanor. He was super calm, super laid back. Luke Walton had the hat back. Side note, Luke Walton's a cool dude.
Dude.
Like Luke Walton's like the man that's like he might be the man in the building with everybody, but the demeanor is cool. Like the energy is good. Like they're not worried. You didn't sense any of that. I'm telling you, he's gonna have Cade Cunningham as well as the rest of these Detroit Pistons, they will be prepared tomorrow for this game. What they choose to do, it's going to be on them. It won't be JB Bickerstaff. He'll have these guys ready.
All right, here we go, Bray. Top 10. It is not a Top 10 Thursday. It's a Top 10 Friday. Top 10 Friday. Woo! Let's go, baby.
Top 10 Friday, man. You know, we want to have some fun. I figured Detroit back in the playoffs, and they're playing against the Knicks. I'm like, have the Knicks and the Pistons met in the playoffs? And if they did, what are some of those moments? So I found 8 moments.
Woo!
I found 8 really good moments of Knicks Pistons basketball. Are you ready? Spinner, you got it?
Yes, sir.
Let's throw it up there. Let's get the first one
Where's
cracked.
Bernard King?
Look at that. 1984. First round. This was the first playoff meeting between the two franchises. The
I
Knicks,
didn't even see this list. I called it out right away.
the Knicks led by Bernard King defeated the Bad Boys era Pistons.
That's at the Joe,
in
by
a
the way.
tight 3-2 series. King was dominant, averaging 42.6 in
Did
the
you realize
series.
that game was
Yeah.
at Joe Louis Arena?
I'll never forget it. It had the red
the
key.
red floor,
The
red and white floor.
Yeah, red and white floor. It was like a Kobo floor. That's because there was a leak at
the Silverdome.
At the Silverdome.
Yep.
So now you weren't in Detroit at the time.
No, I was in Jersey watching it.
Okay, and were you weren't cheering for the Pistons at the time?
Of course
either.
not.
So tell me, you remember this series? You
Oh,
remember?
God, yes, I
Give-
remember.
give
I
us a
think
little drop a jam.
Isaiah scored, what did he score, 60?
Yeah,
he
And
did.
lose?
Oh,
not
man.
60, but
Nah.
Close.
Yeah.
49.
Close.
51, yeah.
It was up and down. It was great basketball. It was all offense. I'll never, because back in those days, it was starting to turn to defense, but they were scoring a lot of points back then. And
I mean,
Bernard-
the Pistons were the team that
They were-
kind
they
of
were on the
changed
ups.
the NBA
Yeah.
into a more defensive.
correct.
Yeah.
Before
you
that,
would-
the Denver Nuggets were scoring
140
160
points.
Game.
Yeah, 140,
We always bet the over as kids in the neighborhood. Neil, give me the over on
As
Denver.
kids. I love as kids.
As kids, right? I imagine you grew up like, hey,
that
Arnold.
one didn't slip by. I heard that, man.
My brother, our friend Jerry, it was his house, but his brother, who was the boss of the house, he
was a bookie.
He was the bookie, and he'd run games. He had a horse racing game in the basement.
Wow.
And they wouldn't let us young kids in. We'd have to watch from the outside in the window, and we'd call our bets in, and he'd make us pay ahead of time.
I
and
honestly,
all of that kind of stuff.
If there's, and I mean this and I mean this in all sincerity. You know, to take anybody's childhood. You can take, I'm talking Tiger Woods, LeBron James.
I don't want Tigers. Earl was ruthless.
Either way, just somebody that was just
funny.
excellent at anything. Earl was ruthless. But anybody's childhood, I can't think of one that would be more entertaining than Tom Mazawey.
It sounds like Hey Arnold. Like I felt like you grew up like Hey Arnold.
I swear to God, man.
That would have been a good one.
I still live in those days. I mean, I can't ever forget them. It was pure joy. Pure joy.
He said they were
Batman,
horsemen.
the streets of Jersey.
It was great. We
And
stayed out all
sports.
day. When the street lights went on, we knew it was dinner time. Ran home, and if it was any kind of light out, we'd be out at night again, outside playing ball, playing manhunt, playing everything, and of course gambling.
Sneaking horse
to the
horse
track.
races in.
I went to Atlantic City as a 17-year-old kid. I played craps. You're not even allowed in the freaking casino.
Listen, there is
great.
nobody better than you at this network. Nobody. Nobody.
Man, it's an absolute
Period.
gem.
Did you win anything?
Yeah, I won my first car per se.
Oh,
because
this
I won
is the
enough.
same story?
I won enough money to
I knew
go
the
out and
story. I
buy
didn't
my
know you
first
were
car
underrated.
and pay the
that's great.
insurance.
Oh, that's great.
Turn up then, man.
How about
I had
it,
to take
baby?
you with me to the casino.
How
man.
about it? I love you.
1990, my first sibling was on, my baby sister Jade, but it wasn't the only thing that happened. The Eastern Conference semi-finals.
Oh,
the
look at
Detroit
Patrick.
Pistons versus the New York Knicks. Here you go. Bad Boys Pistons, fresh off their first NBA championship, faced Patrick Ewing and the Knicks. Detroit showcased their defensive prowess that Ryan just spoke about, winning the series 4-1 en route to their second consecutive title. Man,
Patrick Ewing, man, just
he's an anomaly.
He got robbed.
robbed of what?
Could have won a couple of championships.
Yeah.
Bulls, Pistons, Celtics.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
Could have won a couple championships. Really came so freaking close. Those Knicks teams were solid.
Remember
Knicks
that?
teams.
I think it was against Houston that it was like in the final seconds that ball that was halfway down and
Yeah.
bounced out.
Yeah. It really was. It
yeah.
was it was a tragedy as a Knicks fan to see the Patrick Ewing era the way it unfolded. It sucked.
Who was Anthony Mason? That was my favorite.
Big Mace.
Nick. That was my
Rest
favorite
in
Nick
peace,
of all
Mace.
time.
And John Starks.
Oh, he's no longer with us?
No, he passed
Yeah, he
2
passed.
years ago.
Shame. What a shame.
John Starks, like 1 for 30 from the field.
I never
Just
liked
shooting it
John
up. I love Starks. I was like, keep shooting. I didn't mind.
Starks is one of those players, like, if he's on your team, I think you love him.
You love him.
Like, if you don't, I'm like, nothing about Starks I like except, obviously, the dunk. Like, he will dunk.
Fabulous.
I got to give him credit
I
for
liked
that.
the Knicks back in the day because I knew the Pistons run was done, and I did not want the Bulls to do anything that the
Right.
Pistons either did or didn't do. Like, you know, a repeat championship
Yeah.
and then certainly a three-peat championship. So I was a heavy Knicks fan back in the day.
They tried, man.
Yeah, they did.
They
See what
tried.
happened? See what happened when you root against people? Not only did they just back to back, they got 2 3-peats.
Right, exactly.
How about the Knicks and the Heat? Remember those fights?
They beat
Jeff Van Gundy was holding Alonzo Mourning by the ankle. He was getting swung
dragged
around by the ankle.
They were scuffles. They weren't necessarily fights.
1st to 70 was a win.
What we got? Let's keep this party rocking and rolling with 19.
Now, do you have legit 10 of them?
I got 8.
Wow.
Well, I got 8, but then I have 2.
Okay.
I got 2.
All right.
2 honorable mentions.
I got
Great.
some stuff in here.
No, that's great.
All right, spin more racks. Number 1992. Now, I want one of you guys to tell me about this. Pistons, Knicks, first round, 1992. Maz and Ryan. And
I
if
think
you
the
don't,
Pistons
I
got
got it.
swept that year.
Ooh,
Did they get swept?
I don't remember.
That's Chuck Daly's last time coaching the Detroit Pistons. That series against the Knicks, I believe it was a sweep.
That was the official end of the Bad
Yeah,
Boys?
that was the official end. They broke up after that. I think Daly left because that was after the '92 Dream Team, and then Daly went to the New Jersey Nets and was the coach, and that was the breakup right there.
There it is.
I believe if my history has that correct.
1992, the passing of the torch.
There you go.
The Knicks' victory in 1992 series could be seen as symbolic passing the torch to the younger Knicks team, overcoming the aging Pistons dynasty in sweep.
Yep. I remember that. Orlando Woolridge was on that.
The big O.
Yeah.
Didn't he rock the 0 too?
Yeah, he rocked the 0. Isn't that cool?
It definitely is cool. See what other
The
moments.
little meaningless stuff that we remember. I don't even know how or why
Yep.
or what. Where that part of the brain.
As my dad would say, I
Keeps
don't
it.
even remember what I had for breakfast.
No.
But I remember that.
Where that part of the brain registers that kind of information. I'll never understand it.
What's the next moment on there for me? Spend. This is out of order over here. All right, this is the same. This is. Oh, here you go. This is.
Is that 16 points in 90 seconds that Kenny Brown was talking about?
It's only 4 on it.
No, this is number 4.
Oh, okay. Maz 84. This is the one we talked about. It's out of order. Anyway, I think he had 61 points in this game. Bernard King. One of the biggest what ifs. Whenever they talk about what if, they don't get past Penny, Grant, Brandon Roy. Right.
Pippen.
So they stay more in the late 90s, 2000s. Bernard King, man, like if he never messes his knees up at Tennessee, by the way, before he even got to the Knicks, everybody in the 80s say he was the hardest man to guard.
He had a year off, man, with that knee, and he used to wear that Willis Reed,
Yep.
Joe Namath brace on his knee when he came back. He was just a scoring machine, and it was a great 30 for 30 on him and Ernie Grunfeld, Bernie and Ernie. It's called. It was great. They were a great duo at Tennessee. And Ernie came to the Knicks, obviously, and got into the front office as well. But they were a great duo, man, coming out.
Maz,
Tennessee.
you would be able to educate me and the rest of society on Bernard King.
Yeah.
Just such a great scorer during his time.
He was amazing.
But why is his name never mentioned in that era? Like you hear, is it
Overshadowed.
Is it because of the championships?
Yeah, and overshadowed. And the Knicks have not been relevant, really. I mean, they got relevant when Patrick Ewing came, when they won that thing. Dave DeBusschere was there, and they had the little bent card, and the Knicks got the number 1 draft pick. That was the way I like it. That's the way it should be today. Well, it was. That's how the Spurs got Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah.
And anyway, man, Bernard King is the lost guy in that era of great players. And it's because of the injuries, and it's because the Knicks didn't do crap when he was there.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys where you're right, Ryan. Like
Hubie Brown was his coach too.
my
wasn't he?
answer was about to be like, well, he got injured early, so his career fell off, so it didn't happen. Man, you look at his run, like He first year in the league, 24.2, 21-6, 21-9, 23-2, 21-9, 26-3, 32-9, 22-7, 27, 22-4, and he even finished his career 28.4.
Not bad.
An
huh?
all-star appearance. Not bad.
Darn good.
Not bad at all, Spinny.
His brother Albert King, by the way, played for the Nets.
This is the this was highlighting the defense. It talked about how the defense was for the Pistons and the Knicks, and it talked about the New York Knicks picking up on what the Bad Boys did, kind of what you're saying, keeping it alive in '92 and taking up that mantle. And they were a physical brand of basketball. They got it from the Pistons, but they were no slouches, like you said. They had what, Xavier McDaniel, the X-Man.
The X-Man.
Yeah, Xavier.
He got in some fights.
100%. You had him, Mason, Charles Oakley.
Oakley, it's so sad to me what happened with Oakley in New York.
With
man.
Dolan?
Yeah, I mean,
It's a bad owner.
it's a bad owner, obviously, but I just hate to see a relationship like that break up just because, Oakley is one of the great Knicks of all time, certainly of the last 40 years, I'd say, and it's that kind of player that you want to see back in the spotlight, sitting in the crowd, but he can't even get in the crowd anymore.
They have facial recognition. He couldn't even sneak in.
No doubt.
Couldn't even sneak in.
The 1990 Pistons, that was in the thick of the Pistons Bulls series, but to get to the Bulls, you had to go through. It was the Bucks, it was the Knicks in that series. Pistons 4-1.
Yeah.
Look at that.
100%. So you know your knowledge. At the end of the day, man, it's going to be a good series. Every time the Pistons or the Knicks play each other in the playoffs, it comes down to the wire. They're usually small margin games. There's physicality. There's coaching. There's superstars involved. This feels very much like it did in the 80s, like it did in the 90s. And I'm excited to see, man, we need new LCA just needs some history.
Yeah.
Not new history. They just need some history. 100%. So, but yeah, I'm excited, man. K's going to have 40. I put that in the books. We covered pretty much all of them. You can put them up there.
Love seeing the pictures anyway.
Yeah, it's real fun to look back.
This is Patrick's coming out party. He had 40 points, I want to say.
45 in
45,
Game 3,
and it was the only win they had in that series because of Patrick. Let me ask you this. What's your thoughts on Patrick Ewing? You talked about Bernard King.
Yeah.
Who was Patrick Ewing? Because he's never a center that I put, like, when I'm picking centers.
He didn't win a championship.
Even back then when I was a kid. I'm not young. I was, not Patrick. Not Patrick.
Why?
He never did it. He looks like a slow player.
Why don't you look up his numbers?
No. His numbers are amazing. I'll read them off to you.
Slow one-dimensional player.
In the big moments, you didn't get that from Patrick. Like Patrick Ewing outside of that moment, and even in that moment, they still lost that series. You don't have a Charles Barkley. I know some Charles Barkley playoff moments. He never won a title. Karl Malone. I got a bunch of Karl Malone playoff moments. With Patrick, it's like John Starks dunking on the team.
He was still the boss of the team. He was the captain of the team. They followed him. It's unfortunate. They just didn't have enough to beat the Bulls, not enough to beat the Heat, not enough to beat the Pistons. They were just second fiddle to those teams. They were very good teams, but they were second fiddle to those teams.
All right,
definitely second fiddle. But remember in the major moments when he faltered. Remember missing the free throws. He's another individual missed 2 free throws and they would have won instead. I'm just saying, like, to be as great as he was, he's got a lot of coming up short moments.
Let me ask you just real quick, and of course for you, but for Maz in particular, Patrick Ewing's or Hakeem Olajuwon?
Hakeem Olajuwon.
Patrick Ewing or Shaquille O'Neal?
Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah.
Patrick Ewing or David Robinson?
David Robinson.
Patrick Ewing or Dikembe Mutombo?
Patrick Ewing.
Okay. So you're putting him as the 4th best center of his era.
Probably.
Yeah.
Alonzo Mourning.
Yeah, Zoe won championships.
Yeah.
Hey.
I mean, and then if you want to even.
He was supposed to put the Knicks, he was supposed to be the savior.
Right.
And it turned out he wasn't the savior.
Don't
He
sleep
got
on
him to the
man.
finals, got him to the Eastern Finals, got him to a couple of NBA Finals, but they could not win it. They could not win it all the way. Their best chance was against the Spurs in the strike-shortened year.
One of those
and
finals.
they just came up short.
And if you really want to make people mad,
Allen Houston
honestly,
got him that one.
I'm sorry. I'll make a lot of people mad here. I'd take Bill Laimbeer over Patrick Ewing. I would. He was... I'm serious. I'm serious.
You
Bill
called it perfect, too.
Laimbeer was
He was a bully.
he was
I
not
like
only
him.
a bully.
I like him. He's
but
our guy. But come on, man.
He was
He doesn't have the talent.
He was a savant. What center was shooting threes in his era? Now, if you can't shoot a three, you can't play center.
Yeah, but like him being able to shoot threes,
He was a difference maker.
he wasn't that much of a difference maker. He averaged his career average is 12 points a game.
He led the franchise in rebounds.
Yes, because everybody else on the court was like 6
That
foot.
tie must be too tight.
Like, come on, Ryan. Like, don't do that. Bill Laimbeer
He's
is
your
not
favorite.
above Patrick Ewing.
You like him more
Like,
than
he's
Ewing. That's fine.
12.2 career average. He
I'm just saying.
played in a different system. The system worked for Bill Laimbeer. You take Bill Laimbeer off that team and put him in New York, Bill Laimbeer is not gonna get it done.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I don't like Patrick Ewing, but I ain't gonna hate on the man.
Well, we all got opinions.
Jack Harrington said, "Hey, the Knicks haven't won since '73." No kidding. No kidding, Jack.
Anyway, all with
I
that
remember.
said, it's a lot of fun.
Good stuff. Thank you.
Just leaders by rebounds per game. Leaders in rebounds per game in the 80s and 90s. Okay? Moses Malone was number 1.
Yeah.
Bill Laimbeer number 2. The NBA in the 80s and 90s, combined 2 decades. So he wasn't a slouch.
No one said he was a slouch.
You know what? Bill Laimbeer, you could
My
say
dad
was
loves him.
Bill Laimbeer, you could say was more important to his team than Patrick Ewing was. How about that?
That's a fair assessment.
That's the best I can do for you.
I don't know. I don't even know about that, actually, because Bill Laimbeer was probably the 4th best player on the floor for his team.
I know.
Patrick
but
Ewing was probably the best player on his team.
But they needed him. They needed Laimbeer.
Oh, God,
in there.
yeah. Dennis Rodman obviously led the decade of the 90s in rebounds.
Yeah.
But if you combine 80s and 90s, Bill Laimbeer, number 2 on that list, rebounds per game. Laimbeer, Raider.
What's the spread for tomorrow?
I don't know.
Let's look.
You tell me.
I had to guess. I haven't looked. I would say Knicks by 4.
I would say 4.5. Yeah.
7.5.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
Oh, man.
That's a
an
take
easy,
all day
that's an
long.
easy one.
That's a take.
Apparently, Jalen Brunson isn't that hurt.
I guess not.
Apparently.
Hey, let's face it. He's going to have a lot of gas in the tank. Mm-hmm. He didn't play a lot. He's going to have a lot of gas. That's what helps the Knicks.
Well, they all will. No, he didn't play.
And that last game they played against the Pistons, that throwaway game. Don't think they're not going to get something out of that game. Like I told you last week, I wish they hadn't had to play him towards the end of the year, but they did. Tom Thibodeau will have the Knicks ready, and they're going to try to probably out-physical them, try to slow them down.
Let me just get the chat involved here a little bit. Crazy Clown, he did things nobody else would in the Laimbeer versus Ewing category. He was the heart and soul of that defense. Billy Ball. Ryan, are you smoking over there? Ryan, are you smoking? Bill over Ewing? LMAO. Is Bill in the Hall of Fame?
Nope.
Bill won as a coach in the WNBA.
He might be
Thank
in the
you,
Hall of
Ryan
Fame
Rumble.
for that.
Yeah, you should
Bill was a role player. Patrick Ewing was a star. I agree with Maz.
That's true.
I don't even know what that is. Ewing was a scorer, rebounder, and shot blocker. Bill won Coach of the Year. Bill Laimbeer was a star for the Pistons. I don't care about the NBA inflation where Jeff Green's numbers are better. That's a fun thing. I love Bill, everybody's saying.
Bill was cold. Bill was cold.
That's
He's from
so
the same
great.
neighborhood as Home Alone. I saw it.
Oh, really?
that was the McAllisters.
Probably his house.
He's like he's from that
Didn't
same.
he grow up?
He
Didn't he grow up
did.
loaded?
He was the
Yeah.
only player in the NBA at the time
Yeah.
where his dad made more money than he did.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like Taylor
That's
Swift.
crazy.
Pretty
But
good.
imagine back then you're not making
Yeah.
him. I think Isaiah, like the most he ever made in any one year was $4 million. I think about that. Now Isaiah would be a $75 million a year player.
Isn't that
He was.
unbelievable?
Tom Brady was like that too.
Yeah.
Tom Brady's dad had that California real estate.
Look at that. All right, guys, we're going to take a break. When we come back, NFL draft less than a week away. Kuiper and Yates on who they believe the Lions will take. Shedeur Sanders, private workout for the Giants today. I'm going to tell you why I don't want Shedeur now to go to the Giants. And, of course, we're going to go over or under with the Detroit leaders in any particular category. I'm going to ask over or under where they were a year ago. We'll do that next. But first, a message from Dr. Pierce.
Dr. Pierce, he was with us yesterday. We love him. That's right. He joins us every Tuesday and Thursday. Tuesday and Thursday with Dr. Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine. Make sure you give him a call. It's 248-426-9944. Got to trust the guy that DMAC trusts. Hell, we all trust him to keep you in the game and performing at your best. Check him out more on the line at MichiganSportsAndSpine.com.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Detroit has the best sports fans in the world. That's why they deserve the best sports coverage in the world. We are the Woodward Sports Network. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports. Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball. The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
At Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, we take the chore out of getting a haircut. Our talented stylist will deliver an industry-leading haircut, relaxing scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. Open 7 days a week. You can walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome. Just want to get my Shedeur Sanders out of the way here before we get to some Lions. Mel Kiper, by the way, has Shedeur the #1 player on his big board. Number one quarterback on his big board, ahead of Cam Ward.
G-Man.
I want to put that out there. And he did have a private workout for the Giants today. No word on how that went or anything like that. But I'll tell you why I don't want him to go to New York now. Because I want him to succeed. And I don't know too many first-round quarterbacks. And maybe there are, and I just can't think of them right now. Name me a first-round quarterback whose coach was fired after year 1, and that quarterback ended up being successful at that location. Because I don't anticipate Brian Daboll and Joe Shane remaining with that team past this year. I'd like Shedeur to go to an organization that has a little stability and not going to be complete upheaval, and you start all over again with somebody that it's not your guy now, perhaps, and you have to start all over again. So I don't believe the Giants are the best situation for Shedeur because I don't believe in the coach or the general manager in building a team that can help him succeed.
Yeah, I don't think it's the right spot either, because I believe it's an organization that was spreading those rumors about him. Now, whether they were doing it to try to get people to not take him so that they can take him, they were very volatile in that. So I don't want him to go there because of that. And then, too, it's Brian Daboll. Brian Daboll was the offensive coordinator for the Cleveland Browns in 2009 when I was there. I know who this guy is. You also know who this guy is. Remember?
Let me tell you.
Remember Danny Dimes? Remember the back of the end zone, and then he missed the throw, and Daboll comes to him and berates him on the sideline and throws the surface and breaks it down. This is a grown-ass man. This is the leader of your organization, and you berated him like that in front of everybody. Oh, I'm not done. You saw Hard Knocks. He's got his feet kicked up as he's interviewing people like he's King Tut and God Almighty. Like, you know what's coming.
That to
if
me,
Shedeur Sanders goes there, you know what's coming, and it's not even Shedeur. Because all it takes, one of those moments on TV on the sideline, on social, and who's coming to New York? Deion Sanders.
That, to me, was an indication of who Brian Daboll is as a person. Forget about the coach, but Hard Knocks off season last year, where he has his feet kicked up in a player interview, in a draft interview, with the player there, with the owner there, and you have your feet kicked up on the table looking like a freaking slob. There's no respect. I think Brian Daboll, as a person, that gave you every indication of who that individual is, and I wouldn't want my kid anywhere near that guy.
I know some people that in the car service industry in New York, they drive, and the people that I know, the people used to drive me, they drive James Dolan, they drive Brian Daboll, they drive Aaron Glenn. Now that's the car service they have. A lot of the people have complained to the big dog, my guy, talking about Brian Daboll, when they work with him, what type of guy he is, what he says, how he treats those individuals. This is just coming from drivers. If you can treat somebody like that, like this is who you are. You saw it on the sideline. You also see it with the chauffeurs. He's just a guy that doesn't care. He's a selfish individual, and he's a prick.
So, again, just, Maz, before I get to you, just to let everybody know where I'm coming from, I think it is good for the league. I think it will bring so much good for the league if Sanders is good in this league. Not just a player, not just somebody that fizzles out, not a Caleb Williams who I'm rooting against, not only because he plays for the Bears, but because I want to be right. But he plays for the Bears, and I don't want him to succeed. JJ, another story. I do want him to succeed. That's my guy.
Also, legacies are fun.
Yes. It's part of it. It's good for the game.
Yeah.
Right.
It is much better for the NFL if Shedeur is good than if he's bad. Tom?
He's going to go to the Giants. And if the Giants did spread those rumors, he wouldn't be there working out for him because his dad wouldn't let him go work out for them. They already said, I don't want to play in New York. I don't want to play in New York. First he said, I want to go to New York. 2 weeks ago, he said, we're going to go anywhere, but we don't want to go to New York. He's going to go to New York if Cleveland messes up and passes on him and takes Travis Hunter instead. Ooh. If Cleveland goes takes Travis Hunter, which they'd be crazy to, because they should take Sanders, he'll go to the Giants. And guess what? If Brian Daboll, who I don't like either, if he fails and Joe Shane fails, guess who's coming to New York next year to coach?
Yeah, Bill Belichick. I heard what you said.
No, Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders will come and coach the New York Giants. That's my prediction. If they fail. And if they take him, it's not like our idiots here that went and took who again, I forget the
Jeff Okudah.
Jeff Okudah. They took Okudah because they wanted to keep their job instead of taking a quarterback.
Tua.
If this team takes a quarterback, they're not looking to save their job. They're doing what they're told to do. They're being soldiers. They're doing what they're told to do. And if the Giants fail miserably, they're going to get canned anyway. But if they do well, maybe they could save their jobs as long as they put the right people around them. I still believe Sanders goes to the Giants and he succeeds.
I got to give you pushback on not the second part, the first part, that it wasn't them that spread it because they got him in there. That means absolutely nothing. People have said a ton to dissuade individuals from drafting a certain individual, and it's not Joe Shane is saying it, and it's not Brian Daboll, but it's some intern somewhere, it's some media outlet that they're dropping those gems from. So I've seen it happen before.
Sure, you've been in it.
True, but I just think now with Daboll and how they are, and with the NBA, the NFL is now, they don't care. The respect level isn't there like it used to be. So what you say may be, it's a little truth to it. Now people just make up stuff.
Can I ask a question? It may be a silly question, but is there any chance whatsoever, that Jerry Jones goes up from 12 and takes Sanders? Any chance at all?
Yeah.
And I guess, he's not going up to 3, but if the Giants do pass on Sanders, I could see a scenario where Dallas moves up, trades Dak, and gets Shedeur. Because if there's one coach in the NFL that is literally on a 1-year window, it is Brian Schottenheimer.
Didn't they give him a 5 or 6 year deal?
It doesn't matter. Does that matter?
No.
Because
Monty Williams got a 7-year deal.
Because now that would be the best case scenario for the league.
Absolutely.
To have
primetime in Dallas.
Shedeur and primetime in Dallas within 2 or 3 years.
Here you go. The Dallas Cowboys last traded up in the draft in 2012 when they moved up with the sixth pick to take Morris Claiborne. They also moved up in 2010 to draft wide receiver number 88.
That's who I think they're trading
Dez
for.
Bryant.
If they go up, they're going to get the guy that was visiting the Lions here from
Texas.
Matthew Golden. Matthew Golden, I could see go to the Dallas Cowboys. I could see them moving up to get a guy to pair alongside, what's his name?
CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, CeeDee
Hey,
Lamb.
remember when the Dallas Cowboys had CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper?
I
I thought
do.
it was a good idea to get rid of Amari Cooper and
Yeah.
pay what's his name? Keyword, what's his name?
Yeah.
Number
There's
85.
been a lot of what's his names in Dallas.
No, number 13. What was
Gallup.
Yeah, Gallup. They paid Gallup and got rid of Amari Cooper. And he just so happened to have a 200-yard year next year in Cleveland and make the Pro Bowl. Gotta love Dallas.
Anyway, so I just go ahead, Spencer.
I was just gonna say, looking at New York, if they're gonna draft Sanders, which I think they will, and I know the Brian Dable situation isn't great, but Jalen Hyatt and Malik Neighbors is a pretty good wide receiver situation for him to walk into, especially with how well and accurate that he throws the
Good
ball
tight
from the
end,
pocket.
too.
Good tight end too. It's you got weapons in New York, you just don't have the coach yet. So.
And you know, Abdul Carter becomes a little bit expendable there for the Giants because you got Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Forget about the Marcus Lawrence in the middle.
Well, absolutely, but
Dexter.
on the edges,
Yeah.
you know, Abdul Carter, where would he fit? You got 3 of them. You give one of those guys to the
make
Lions.
room.
They're all
make room.
expensive.
Right. Guys, let's get to the Lions. 7 picks in next week's NFL draft. It'll start with pick number 28 on Thursday, and then 2 picks on Friday, number 60, and then a compensatory pick in the 3rd round, which will end up being pick 102. Will they wheel? Will they deal? We don't know. We just don't know what the Lions will do. But Mel Kiper and Field Yates did in every other mock draft.
Mm-hmm.
And at pick number 28, it was Kiper's pick. Mykel Williams, edge rusher from Georgia, says we talk a lot about the Lions' pass rush opposite Aiden Hutchinson. Let's fix it. Williams can beat blockers with his explosives, and he has even more upside for the new Lions defensive coordinator, Calvin Shepard, to unlock. So Kiper likes Williams. Braylon likes Georgia defenders. So how do you feel about that, Braylon?
Yeah, I'm cool with that because this will give you a chance to stay at 28, not have to trade any draft capital or anything else. You just stay at 28. You get a guy from Kirby Smart's team. I went through the long list of players that have had success coming out of Georgia in the last 4 years, and he'd be another one. Last year he had 10.5 sacks. He led the team in sacks. Ladies and gentlemen, excuse me for that. He's a player. And I told you about the defensive coordinator. I told you about that D-line coach. You just got to trust what works. You look at those Georgia players. They work in the NFL. Mm-hmm. And if a formula works, you use it. Last time I checked, Lions, they love they love Alabama, right? Does Jahmyr Gibbs work? Check. Does Jamison Williams work? We believe so. And does Brian Branch work? Check. That's how Georgia is, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Kirby Smart, yeah, he coached under Nick Saban. So I think you're getting the same type of guys, the same type of prowess. Yeah, it will work for me. I still like Jalen Walker better, but this will work.
Just to let you know, Mel's got Ward to the Titans, Travis Hunter to the Browns, Abdul Carter to the Giants, Will Campbell from Michigan to the Pats.
No, not
LSU.
Will Campbell, LSU.
I'm sorry, Will Campbell, LSU, offensive tackle. Mason Graham, Michigan, to the Jags. Ashton Genty to the Raiders. And then got offensive tackle from Missouri, Armand Membu to the Jets. And Braylon's guy, Jalen Walker, number 8, to the Carolina Panthers, which makes Shedeur Sanders slide all the way to number 9 and fall into the Saints' lap.
And Tyler Warren to the Chicago Bears to wrap up.
He's
the top
6'5",
10.
man.
No
I didn't
doubt.
realize
I told
that.
you he's a freak.
Wow.
Man,
he looks small in that Penn State white and blue uniform.
If they don't get Ashton Genty, you're true about that because Mike Gesicki's like 6'6".
Isn't that
And like
something?
he did not look 6'6" when he was at Penn State until you see him jump in the air.
Yeah.
But where was I going with that? Was it Ashton Genty?
If he
past
The Bears don't get Ashton Genty.
That's what I was gonna say. If the Bears don't get Ashton Genty, if he goes to the Raiders, that's an amazing spot for the Raiders and Tom Brady and that team. You talking about getting good fast? Ashton Genty will help. But yeah.
And yeah, I mean, was going to say, like, would Pete Carroll make a trade with Chicago to get more assets
Maybe
over the next 2 years? That could be a potential situation as well.
He is only a running back, right? As they look at in the NFL,
right?
He's only a running
back, but he could be the running back of this draft. I mean, unless you feel some kind of way about Trayvon Henderson at Ohio State that you can get probably in the second round, we'll see. Will Johnson, by the way, Michigan cornerback, Miami Dolphins at 13. Next pick, Indianapolis Colts, Colston Loveland, tight end from Michigan. A lot of people have Loveland going to the Chargers. At pick number 22, if he's out there
with Jimmy Handshake.
Absolutely, that would be something if that worked out that way. But
wow, they got the Seahawks taking the guy that the Lions supposedly in love with, this Gray Zabel, the guard and center from North Dakota State. He's going at 18, and that's Mel Kiper's pick as well. I said Shamar Stewart. Isn't that the guy that Bischoff loved?
Yeah,
right.
Zizzy's guy too.
Yeah, they both loved this guy. Yeah. Even though he only had 4.5 sacks at 3 seasons, the edge from Texas A&M, they got him going to the Packers.
You know, I think this was on Get Up yesterday or the day before, but it was whenever this 3-round mock draft came out. I thought this was really very insightful when it comes to these mock drafts because they were talking about Field Yates and Mel Kiper and Matt Miller, who also does ESPN draft analysis. And they were like, how do you come up with these names? How do you come up with these names? It was really interesting process because these guys talk to so many scouts and executives about particular players. And he said, when we talk, we compile all that information and they go with a consensus pick. So you get a group of general managers, you get a group of scouts, it's a consensus pick. But we know that drafts are not picked by consensus. They are picked by one person normally. And that is where you get the whoa. And they led to, they gave the example of Michael Penix to Atlanta last year. Of all the conversations that they had last year, not one person mentioned Michael Penix to Atlanta.
Right.
But what did it take? One person to be in love and make that pick. And it blows up your mock drafts. It blows up. It tells people you don't know what you're talking about, all that stuff. So this is based on...
It's like a car accident.
It's like consensus. You know, we could all talk, everybody in this room, about our evaluation. Pretend like we're all NFL scouts. We all work for NFL teams, and we all come up with our player rankings, and we say to Kool-Aid, hey, Kool-Aid, we're going to take Shedeur Sanders at number 3. And everybody, I mean, that's the pick. All of us agree Shedeur Sanders is the pick. Stick comes in. I like Jackson Dart. Dart's better. I want Dart. And it's like because not one conversation was had last year where they thought Penix would go ahead of JJ and Knicks. And he did because it just takes one person. I say that because it was such an insightful way to get to this mock draft, how these come to be.
I told the story a bunch of times, Spinny, but I don't think you've heard it, and then I don't think Ricky may have heard it. I was supposed to go to the Miami Dolphins in 2005. Like that was the team that was on me, was recruiting hard. They came up to my pro day. I talked to them all the time, and that's the team I thought. I never had any dealings with the Cleveland Browns. Never knew anything. Well, I mean, I knew they existed, but I didn't have any dealings. The owner saw the triple overtime game, Randy Lerner, around the time of the draft.
Yeah.
I was the only player for him after that. Romeo Crennel was our first-year head coach. Romeo Crennel is one of the best defensive coordinators of all time. Like the owner, the general manager, Phil Savage, he wanted defense. Like that's what they wanted. Randy Lerner, who wasn't around anyway, saw that game in March and told them, I want Edwards. And that's what they did. And it caused it. I didn't know this, but unbeknownst to me, that's what caused a lot of friction. General manager and the owner versus, it was a lot. But they didn't want me. They wanted defense. The owner said, nah, I want number 1 for Michigan. So
if they pay,
that's a real deal.
And then you know who doesn't like you?
The coach and the GM.
Coach and the GM.
Coach and the GM.
Day one.
It's like, what did I do?
Yeah.
If they passed on you, where do you think you go?
4 to Chicago because they want to put me on the other side of Musin and then not pay Musin and phase Musin Muhammad out.
A Michigan Stater and a Michigan guy. crossing each
Minnesota,
other.
Randy was gone. They didn't have any wide receivers. Minnesota.
Wow.
And then Matt Millen and my dad, they've known each other for years. He was at my pro day. He said, I'm trying to find a way because the Lions had 10 and 27 or 10 and 28. He said, I'm trying to find a way to get Braylon. So I would have either gone 4, 7, or 10. I would have went above Mike Williams.
I
still did.
Let me just play devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
Here's why you don't go 4 to Chicago.
Cedric Benson. Go ahead. Oh, yeah. What is it?
The reason why you wouldn't go number 4 to Chicago?
Oh, because of Dave Terrell and how he
David
messed it
Terrell.
up.
You know how many times, like, David Terrell was what, 8 overall? Was he 8?
Yeah.
8th overall to Chicago, Boston, Chicago. How do you sell that to the fans that we're going to come back 4 or 5 years later?
And he wore the same number.
Right.
Yes.
Come back 4 or 5 years later
Wow.
and draft another guy from that program. You know what I'm saying? How do you sell that to your fans?
Because Dave Terrell ain't had no Michigan game, Michigan State game.
But you see what I'm saying?
You're right. It'll be kind of like the Jeff Okuda
Yeah.
situation, like drafting another DB at 3.
From Ohio State. No, seriously.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Hey, back to the draft for a second. At
That means shut
28,
up, by the way.
Kuiper's got Mykal Williams, edge to Georgia for the Lions.
If
4 picks later, Jahad Campbell, Alabama linebacker, to where? The Philadelphia
Philly,
Eagles.
of course.
Now, I'm telling you right now, if that happens, you could bank that Jahad Campbell
Pro Bowler.
will be the Pro Bowler over Mykal Williams.
All pro.
Maz, I love Jahad Campbell.
Yep.
He is, if I'm doing pound for pound player rankings, I think Jahad Campbell is a top 5 player in this draft.
If he goes 32, I'll throw up.
He's probably going to. It's going to be James Pierce or Jahad Campbell for the Eagles,
Oh,
and
my
both
God.
of those guys are going to be good. I love Jahad Campbell. I'm big into linebacker play and what he does all around the field, flying around everywhere, making plays in the pass game, at the quarterback, stopping the run. He is going to be a steal for somebody late in this round. I wouldn't be surprised if he was the best player in this draft when it's all said and done. This kid is a freak.
Facts.
Now, when you say linebacker play, does she wear the shoulder pads or is it you? No, I'm just messing around. But that would be a sick linebacker core. You look at it, you're talking about Bond with N'Kobe Dean, who will be back, with Shahad. Hey, man, the rich get richer.
You're not kidding, man. Whatever you look at, Philadelphia's going to get they're going to get a guy that they're going to turn into an All-Pro. I don't know how they do it.
But
They
you know
do
what?
You're so mad.
Hold on. We gotta take a step back. We gotta take a step back, Maz.
Howie Roseman should be in jail.
Maz, no, Maz, no.
Good.
No, I'm not gonna let y'all do that. I'm not gonna let you do that. They've had a head start. Like, you're trying to compare against somebody that they won in 2018, which means they have been cooking since 2015, 16, give or take. So they got us by about a solid 8 years. So it's okay.
I hope you're right, man.
You just got a head start. Brad's gonna catch up.
I hope
Brad's
you're right.
good.
But as soon as I heard about James, because James Pierce, he's my number 2 edge rusher in this draft. I think he's the second best edge rusher in the draft. As soon
What
as I
makes
heard,
him so good?
it's just his get off, his bend, and his size is insane. Like, his first step off of the line, he is like a lightning bolt getting back there, and at that size and he finishes at the quarterback too. He's not breaking arm tackles, nothing like that. He gets his hands on you, you're going in the dirt.
Guess where
And
they have Pierce going?
to the Chiefs?
43rd
Oh my
to
goodness.
the San Francisco 49ers.
I don't know. I saw him dropping a couple of mock drafts. I don't know.
He dropped to 43.
Now that is a drop.
They throw the uncoachable word around.
Do
and
they?
That's, yeah,
Is that
that's
why?
the thing. Yeah.
I'm gonna just be quiet.
No, well, you know what? Don't be quiet, because Brad Holmes talked about this yesterday. He talked about, I forget what the question was. The question to him was, how do you evaluate one of the guys had an issue.
Yeah.
I forgot which player it was, so I'm not even going to throw a name out there because I'm not going to do anybody like that. I don't know if it's true or not. But one of the guys in the draft had an issue, and they said, how do you evaluate that player? Is he on your board? Is he not on your board? This, that, and the other thing. And it's like, we want I forgot what the quote was, but I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
We want people that'll fit in our locker room. That's what he said. We want good fits here in the locker room. And it's just like, okay, man, you win. You've done it.
You haven't won yet, though.
You've done it your way. I'm not going to argue with you. But if this player goes on to be another guy like a Jalen Carter, well, then you can start to have some questions about your methods on how to evaluate building a team.
I'm not going to say anything to what he should and shouldn't do. It's his opinion. It's how he runs his organization, and they've had a ton of success so far.
It better work.
100%. I hear you, Maz. I hear you. I just think to be completely a great culture, to be a complete good locker room, to be a complete team like that, like not everybody is a 4.0 student from Harvard. Not everybody is I don't even want to say choir boy. Not everybody's a good kid, a good egg, as you say, that has good on this side. And oh, by the way, good on this side. Not everybody's like that.
Not everybody plays the piano.
Like not everybody plays the piano. Like
needs chocolate covered
at
strawberries.
the end of the day, some people you take
Joey
and
Harrington.
you get them there. Like when you can take a player, and then that player has a little bit of something that came out of when he was in college, when he was 18 or 19 or 20, and you're able to bring him in your locker room, and then he can have success, and then be proud of him in the community. That's the quintessential job of a coach. That's the quintessential job of like, yo, you got these guys there. Now it's important. I just think you got to take some chances. Because you keep drafting all these choir boys, and good job. Congratulations.
Burn $5. First, we draft all pros to the third in the fourth round, no less. Second, Howie got demoted to a broom closet before he became the demon Howie we know now. Guys, we're going to take a break. When we come back, over or under with the Detroit Lions leaders. We'll do that next. But first, a message from Mark White.
Oh, Mark White. Guys, you know it. Dreaming of a new home but feeling the financial pinch? We all are, right? Well, Mark White and Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's $5,000 that you get to keep in your pocket. Call them today. Mark White and his team, 248-290-8242. Visit them online as well. It's markwhitesells.com. Again, that number, 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball. The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone! Boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
I know you're tired of wearing the same old Detroit sports merch. It's a new era in sports wearables, new designs, amazing apparel, and the ultimate swag. Check out Woodward Sports' latest gear at shop.woodwardsports.com. Hoodies, tees, hats. I know you need one for Tigers. You need one for Pistons to get into the playoffs. Shop.woodwardsports.com. Get the latest designs today at shop.woodwardsports.com.
Welcome back, Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazawey, Ricky Burns. Spenny is with us as well. Spencer Rackster. You can watch the heavyweights tonight coming up at 5 o'clock, 5 to 7 if you want to watch them live. And, of course, if you want to watch us or anybody on demand, go to YouTube and check us out. Absolutely. So, guys, here's what I want to do here. I want to play a little game called Over and Under. What I did was I went back and I looked at the Lions leaders in passing, rushing, receiving, tackling, interceptions. Okay?
Nice.
Five categories. And I'm going to show you what their stats were in 23-24. I have made my own stat line for 2025, and I'm going to ask you if you believe they're over or under. Spenny, do we have these graphics?
Yes,
okay,
sir.
Let's start with Jared Goff, okay? Start with Jared Goff. Jared Goff in 2023. Look at the right-hand side of this screen first. 2023, 4,575 yards, 30 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. 12 interceptions, by the way, in 23 and 24. Incredible numbers, similarities yardage-wise. 25 and 20, 54 more yards in 24 than he had in 23, 37 touchdowns. So this is my stat line in 2025. I'm going to go right smack dab. I'm going to go a little bit lower than his 2023 number, by the way. I'm going to go 4,550 yards, 35 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. Braylon, all three categories, over or under?
Yards, under. Touchdowns, under. Interceptions, over. I think there'll be a more run-based team this year. I think still be some passes, still be some electricity with J-Mo. You know that's my guy. Amon-Ra St. Brown is one of the elite receivers in the league. So you will get the pass game, but I think it's down this year. I think they focus on the run. So I think under, and I think over.
That's a tough year for Jared Goff if that happens.
But it's not necessarily, though. Like, quarterbacks throw interceptions these days. There's only one or two quarterbacks that are going to be 7 or less interceptions. I'm not mad at – it's 17 games. You throw 14 interceptions, yeah, I'm gonna have a fit in those moments, but over the duration of a season, I'm not. Like, 4,500 is a lot of yards. If he goes 4,200, I'm not mad at that. If he throws 28 touchdowns, I'm not mad at that either.
Just keep in mind, it's 4,629 yards. Maz was second in passing.
Yep.
The 37 touchdowns was fourth in touchdowns.
Wow. I'm going to say because John Morton is now the offensive coordinator and Ben Johnson is off to, brighter pastures, I'm going to go under on all three of those categories. And, again, I think he's going to be very good this year. And like Braylon said, they're going to go to the run a little bit more. I think they're going to be a little bit more they're not going to have as many trick plays as we did before. So I believe Jared Goff will have a nice, easy year this year. And I got under for all three of those things. And, of course, I've got under of wins, too. Sorry.
All right, let's move on to Jahmyr Gibbs here. Gibbs.
Hold on, ask Spenny.
Oh, Spenny.
I'm going to go over on all three of those. I think that, yes, they're going to focus on the run a little bit more, but what John Morton likes to do as well is attack down the field with the vertical passing. I think Jamison Williams is going to have a big year. I think he's going to be around 1,300 yards receiving, and I think they're going to attack down the field. That will lead to more interceptions, but it'll also lead to more touchdowns and a higher yardage total.
Ricky Burns?
I'm with Mass, under on all. I think Jared Goff, just him, is going to have less of a load this year for multiple reasons.
I feel you. I feel you on that. I'm going to go, yes, and I think the offensive coordinator has a lot to do with it. I'm going to go under on all three as well. Jahmyr Gibbs, ladies and gentlemen, look at the right-hand side of the screen first. In 2023, 945 yards, 10 touchdowns. 2024, 1,412 yards in 16 touchdowns. So, by the way, 16 touchdowns, tied for first in the NFL last year in touchdowns at 16.
16 is a good number for touchdowns.
His rushing was fifth. It was fifth in the NFL last year, fifth. So I'm going up on the yards. So I'm going to go 1,500 yards rushing for Jahmyr Gibbs and 15 touchdowns, one less.
I'm going first.
Nope, go ahead.
Because you know that's my guy.
I was going to ask a question.
Way over. Way over.
Over 1,500 yards.
1,700 yards rushing, and I'm going to go 20 touchdowns.
Wow.
Because I believe he is the best running back in the game.
I'm going next then. No, he's not going 1,700 yards. Because at the end of the day, did you guys forget that the other running back that almost had 1,000
I didn't
missed
forget.
4 games last year? Did you forget that?
No, I didn't
Did you
forget
forget that?
No.
Like Jahmyr Gibbs got the 1,500 yards, but he got what in the last 3 games? Over 560 yards or whatever it was.
Yeah,
So-
and guess what? They saw that, and they're like, oh, maybe we should give this guy the ball. The only thing they didn't do is give him the freaking ball against Washington.
So that's my point. David Montgomery is a part of their package. They love having thunder and lightning. I can't see Jahmyr Gibbs getting 1,700 yards. Well, how many yards is David Montgomery getting? 200?
1,000.
300? So 2,700 yards between that and Jared Goff's throwing for 5,000.
No, I had him under.
I'm just messing with you.
That correlates, though,
Yeah.
for both of you.
Well, it does. I'm just saying with
Yeah.
the David Montgomery, though. Like, if he's getting 1,700, what does that leave David Montgomery? Put the stat back up there for me, please.
Oh, yep.
If I can see him real
I
quick.
gave you the sheet.
Sorry, man.
It's okay, buddy.
My apologies.
So it's easier for you to look
So,
at.
All right. Over on the touchdowns, under on the yards. Oh, that's all you gave me. Over on the touchdown and under on the yards.
okay, I'm gonna go over in the yards and over in the touchdowns. Look, all season long it was Montgomery Series 1 and then Gibbs Series 2. I believe this year it's going to be Gibbs Series 1 and Montgomery Series 2. And I think the buy-in for Montgomery will be, 1,
Yeah.
he's got his money. 2, he's got his stability. And 3, you've got longevity now. You will last longer in this league. Your body will last longer within any particular season. Now that you don't have to carry the load like you did perhaps in 23.
And that's what I'm talking about, by them not having to carry the load. Like, they know what's going to work for Jahmyr. They want Jahmyr for the total of his time here. They want him longer than just 6 years and then move on. They want him to be a 10-year back here and maybe more. In order to do that, you know how you do it. You have to split the carries.
Oh, I was saying you for Montgomery, you save his body.
But what I'm telling you is to save both of them. Jahmyr is your stud, lightning, exciting, electric player that when he's cooking, he wins you games. Everybody loves Jahmyr. In order to keep that cooking, you got to rest him at time. And the split is how it happens. You're not going to – I'm cool with him starting him in the series now. If you want to start him series 1, that's fine. He could take the first series. That still doesn't –
Can they play together?
But that's – yes.
Then why not?
It's going to be the same thing. It's just in reverse.
I believe that this guy Morton is not going to be like Ben Johnson. I don't think you're going to see them intermittent. I think you're going to see him whenever.
Right.
That's just the way I look at it.
Yeah, I
Because
see
to
what you're
me,
saying.
that was something I never really saw before.
Yeah.
Until Ben Johnson did it. I've never seen in my life watching football that each guy gets a series. To me, you put a guy in whenever the hell you want to put him in.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way I would do it. I'd put them both freaking in.
Spenny?
But let me –
go ahead, Bray. Sorry.
Oh, no, you guys – didn't they go 15-2 last year?
They did, and they lost.
Yeah, well, they lost because through a lot of other mitigating
I get
factors, though. So it's not just because of how they split the time. Yes, I'm still pissed they didn't start Jahmyr Gibbs in the Commanders game. I told you what happened if
Yeah,
they did.
should've got the ball 30 times.
I don't care that they had the lead. If you start Jahmyr Gibbs, you do not go 3 and out. When you go 3 and out, you know what that does to the defense? Oh, shoot, they're not that good.
I think all three of us,
they're
five
not
of
that
us,
good.
I think all 5 of us in this room, though, are kind of on the same track here where we believe they're going to rely less on Jared Goff in the passing game this year.
Of
and they're going
course.
to rely more on the run game this year. So those 400 yards that Jared Goff won't get this year, maybe it goes from 46 to 42.
Very true.
Those 400 yards are going to be replaced on the ground, split between Gibbs and Montgomery.
Yep.
So that's where you're taking those
I agree.
yards.
I agree.
Spenny?
Yeah, I agree. I think he's gonna go over. I don't know. He's gonna be over 2,200 all-purpose yards. I'll say that. I don't know about the rushing to receiving split exactly. I think he'll be over 16 touchdowns as well. I think he's gonna be
14-8.
Yeah, exactly. 14-8, something like that, because this guy is a weapon. I think he is going to contend, if not win, Offensive Player of the Year next year. And he is just an absolute weapon that you could put out there at any opportunity, on any down and distance. And as I talked about John Morton being the offensive coordinator, you also brought in David Shaw. And you know he likes to run the ball, that Harbaugh offense, that Stanford offense. He likes to run the ball a lot, so expect him to get some work. And I agree, like, I love David Montgomery. I want nothing but Jahmyr Gibbs between the 20s.
Right.
Inside the 20s, short down and distance, give it to Monty. Give me Jahmyr Gibbs in the open field.
Ricky?
He said exactly what I was about to bring up, the new coordinator. So, I mean, I think he's going to go over on everything but the touchdowns. I don't think he's going to get as many touchdowns.
2000, Marshall Faulk became the second running back to go over 1,000 yards rushing and receiving. Come on, Jahmyr. Your turn, my guy.
Amon-Ra St. Brown in 2023, 1,515 yards, 10 touchdowns. 2024 pulled back a bit on the yardage, 1,263 yards, but increased the touchdowns. Look at the right side of the screen. Last year, 5th in receiving yards, 3rd in touchdowns. My 2025 projections, 1,210 yards. Or excuse me, no, 1,310 yards. So I'm kind of in the middle between 2023 and 2024. Yeah. And then 11 touchdowns, right smack dab in the middle of 23 and 24. Braylon?
Under. I got him around 1140 and 8 to 9 touchdowns or so. Like, I mean, it goes hand in hand in what we're talking about. Limiting the passes a little bit this year. Not limiting, wrong word. Relying more on the run, if you will. And then, same thing I said. Spinny agrees. I love it. Who you said was going to have a big year?
J-Mo.
J-Mo is going to have the big year. I thought last year that J-Mo was going to have the 14 and Amon-Ra would have the 11. I think it's not going to be this year. I think J-Mo will have more yards than Amon-Ra by about 200.
Contract year.
So, yeah.
Maz?
I'm going to go like that, but I'm going to do over on the touchdowns, under on the yards, and I'll say he'll stay with 12 to 13 touchdowns.
So everybody on the team is scoring 15 touchdowns?
I don't know. You only talked about 2 players.
Well, how many touchdowns is J-Mo going to have this year?
I don't know. 10 maybe?
Oh,
I don't know.
Maz,
I know, but I don't know. I'm just answering the question.
I'm just being funny. I'm just asking. Because at some point, you got to. Jahmyr's getting 20 touchdowns. Like, Amon-Ra's getting 15 touchdowns. I'm just messing with you, man.
That's a fine.
Spenny?
I'm going to go under on the yards and over on the touchdowns. I think that...
Get him, too.
If you look at it...
I'm going to let him talk, like I did you.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, since he's entered the league, has been the second best red zone threat in the NFL, behind only George Kittle. They like targeting him on those rub routes, on those quick slants in the red zone, those Jared Goff plant throw type throws. So I think that Jamison Williams is going to get a lot of the downfield shots and a lot of the attacks, but if he gets tackled or it's just they end in the red zone, Amon-Ra is going to get a lot of those red zone targets. That's where they like to use him. So give me an under on the yards, but an over on the touchdowns.
You ready, Maz? You ready? No, Spinny, I disagree.
Okay.
He will not go over on the touchdowns. A lot of what he was able to do, those trick plays, and some of them weren't trick plays, they were just some new nuances. To Ben Johnson. Yeah. Ben Johnson's no longer here. Every time he scored in the red zone, it's some type of play where you're like, man, did you see he came? He did double motion and he did this. He was on this side and then he caught the pass on this side. Actually, he threw the pass to Jared Goff on this particular play. A lot of those things in the red zone, they were Ben Johnson. So I got to see if Jay Moore is going to bring that, or is he just going to get a ball to David Montgomery?
Ricky?
I agree. He's going to be under on everything, unfortunately, because they're just not going to pass as much. And I feel like Amon-Ra, a lot of his good plays were where he was scrambling. There had some time. I don't think we're going to have a lot of those plays, so I'm saying under on it all.
I'm going to say under as well. And the only reason I'm going to say under on touchdowns is because I do believe Amon-Ra's touchdowns were elevated last year because of the lack of connection with Sam Laporta in the red zone. I think Laporta is going to come back and be a big part of the offense as well in the red zone. So where Laporta will be 3 or 4 touchdowns up, Amon-Ra will be 3 or 4 touchdowns down. So I expect him to have around 9 or 10 next year. So, again, it's all the same. I'm just shifting where they're going.
Your numbers are good, though.
Yeah, I think so. It took me a little bit of time to do this. Jack Campbell, guys. Look at Jack Campbell's numbers on the right side. In 2023, 95 tackles. In 2024, 131 tackles. He was 19th in tackles with 131.
Wow.
I'm going 145 tackles over or under for Jack Campbell, and I'm going to lead this one off. And I'm going to go over. I think Jack Campbell, 150 plus touchdowns. The leader in the NFL last year had 173 tackles. I'm going to go 150 for Jack Campbell next year, and that would put him in the top 10.
I'm going over you, Ryan. I'm going 155. I think Jack Campbell solidifies himself as a top 5 linebacker in the NFL this year. Last year, when you look at his play, where you throw him around there, he was borderline top 10. Like 10 to 15 is where you throw Jack Campbell in there. I think he takes another step. I think Coach Shepard, being a linebacker coach, being now the defensive coordinator, he's going to have a lot more say. Jack Campbell's going to have a lot more freedom. He is going to be the green dot full time next year. I expect him to kind of take the mantle, because Anzalone's last year on his deal is next year. You're not re-signing Anzalone. With all the guys that you have to re-sign, he is going to be a cap casualty. Jack Campbell is going to take that step forward and be a dog next year. Dog.
I'll go before you because I know that's your favorite guy. I'm going to take over on the tackles as well. I'm going to go with $150, $155.
150 tackles, let's say. If he had 150 tackles last year, that would put him at 8th last year. So, I mean, top 10. That's,
If we get that, that's
right.
The defense is good.
If he's on the number 145, like I put in there, that would put him at 10th.
Okay. I'll even take that.
I, on the other hand, you know how I feel about Jack Campbell. I think he's going to...
It's a walkout.
No, I think his numbers will be above it this year. I think last year with Alex Anzalone going down, you saw that he was ready to take over the leadership role. The other thing about it, too, is having Alex Anzalone and Kelvin Shepard for the past 3 years, it taught him the position. Absolutely. He didn't have to come to Detroit 2 years ago and jump right in. He was able to learn behind Baby Thor, and it's worked for him. So I'll go over as well. He's shown that he's a player that you can trust. He can move positions. He doesn't just play one. So, yeah, Jack, he's going over this year, and he's going to be a star.
Ricky?
I just got to take the moment to say you guys are really, really good at what you do. Because every single time I have a thought, one of you say it better than I even can think. And it's just, you guys, it's impressed watching y'all sometimes. Y'all said everything I was going to say.
Let me say one final
You're impressive, too.
One final note about Jack Campbell. 17 games played in 23, 17 games played in 24. Boy. The best ability is availability.
That's the Iowa Hawkeyes, man.
That's why they loved him.
That's why
just the best.
Hawkeyes.
The guy loves football.
Final over-under, guys. You know where I'm going. Kirby Joseph. In 2023, look at the right-hand side of the screen. 2023, 4 interceptions. 2024, 9 interceptions, which led the NFL last year. Over under 6 interceptions in 2025 for Mr. Joseph. Maz?
Over. I'm not going to show you. He's not going to be over 9, but I'm going to put him right in the middle there.
You at 7?
Oh, I'm going under. I think 5 this year.
Wait, is he getting paid before the season?
Yes.
He's getting paid?
Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to check.
Does that change your answer?
Because usually when they get paid, they'll be a little under. When they want to get paid, they're going to be over. So I'll play the middle here. I'll play 7 or 8.
I'll go 5.
I'm going way over. Listen, Kirby's my guy. You know, some handsome, debonair individual that's sitting in this booth said before, spring practice even started last year that Kirby Joseph was going to lead the NFL in interceptions. He goes out there, he does it, and remember, he did it without Aiden Hutchinson for 3/4 of the year. You get back one of the best pass rushers in the NFL to make those quarterbacks. They're going to be playing a lot of good ones, so they're going to be throwing the ball a lot this year. Give them that extra second of hesitation when you got Big Hutch breathing down their neck. That'll let Kirby get some more interceptions. I think he's going to be at 8 or 9 again this year.
Ricky?
I agree. I think he's going to be over because I think he's going to have his full defense there, and he's just going to shine, man. Very, very simply. Over.
I'm going to cop out. Push.
You're right at 6?
I think he's right on the number at 6. I think he's right on the number. Guys, that was fun.
That was fun. Great job,
absolutely.
man,
all right,
Nice
guys,
going.
we'll take a break, come back. Red Wings ended their miserable season last night.
Playoffs tomorrow.
It
started good. It started good.
Give you a little Red Wings and some Tigers next, but first a message from Planet Fitness.
You see the colors, you know what time it is. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. Now with over 50 metropolitan Detroit locations, it's the gym for you because it's everywhere. I guarantee you, you know and seeing the Planet Fitness. So why don't you just go in? The gyms are clean, squeaky clean. And also, there's a trainer with every type of membership you can buy because there are different levels, but they all fit into a great price point because they have fitness that fits into your budget. So do yourself a favor. Get in shape. It's 70 plus degrees right now. Don't you wish you could take your shirt off, have your tank top on, have your guns popping, have little abs? I'm telling you, that's what you need to do for the summer. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Your Detroit Pistons are in the playoffs, and Woodward Sports has you covered every game day, starting this Saturday at 5 p.m. with our live pregame show. Then when the action turns up, so do we, with our Woodward Sports Playoff Watch Party live on YouTube and X. Join the Woodward Sports crew as we live and die with every shot, steal, dunk, and oop. And immediately following the game, tap into the post-game show for instant reactions and more. It all starts this Saturday at 5 p.m. and it's only on Woodward Sports. And it's all powered by Feldman Chevrolet and Novi.
All right, welcome back. Guys, Red Wings lose last night. I actually wasn't even watching the game. I turned it on for like 2 minutes. Saw it was 3-2 Wings in the third period. I go back to the Tigers game. I'm watching the Tigers game. Then I landed on the postgame show because Kevin Burkhardt was doing the Tigers postgame show last night on Fox Sports 1. And
he's the best.
And then Maz texts Braylon and I and says, Red Wings lost.
I said they gave – I turned off the Tigers because they were winning. So I put on the Wings, 3 minutes to go. It's a good broadcast, Kenny and Mick. It's fun. So you're listening, you're watching. Toronto has got a big winning streak going. But from what I understand, they didn't play most of their big guns. But they got them out in the last 3 minutes. So they're trying to keep the winning streak going. The Wings is trying to win game number 40. And they got a couple of other things. They wanted to get Patty Kane 60 points. He had 59. So they're up 3-2. And with 2 seconds to go, 1.8 to be exact, Toronto just peppers them and they score. So it's going to overtime.
Did they do that to get Patrick Kane a point in overtime?
No, they didn't do it. They didn't do it. They didn't want to go to overtime. But then Mickey's like, all right, let's do this. Let's get Patty Kane get his 60th point. 30 seconds into the overtime, Toronto 1 shot in. Boom, game over. Red Wings stop at 39 wins for the year. 2 other guys did okay this year. DeBrincat, 39 goals, 80 points for Raymond, and 30 goals for Dylan Larkin. But just not enough. 5 points out of the last playoff spot. The Red Wings finished. Playoffs start tomorrow. And listen to the teams that didn't make it. The Rangers. Last year, they won the President's Trophy. Best record. They're out. The Bruins. They're out. The Penguins. They're out. Islanders. Who else is out?
Detroit.
Besides Detroit. Calgary scored 96 points. It's the most points for not making the playoffs.
Wow.
Vancouver.
They didn't make it. Vancouver's out. But the other original 16 that didn't make it, Chicago, didn't make it. That's
a tough playoff when 4 of your 6 original, 4 of the original 6 don't make the playoff.
Oh, you got it. The Canadians and who else am I missing?
Leafs.
Toronto,
the Leafs.
yeah.
The Leafs could do damage, guys.
Yeah.
The Leafs can win.
Oh, I'm sure, man.
Says Toronto every
I
year.
got some snake oil to sell to you, man.
They're playing the Senators. The Senators made the playoffs for the first time in a long time. So the Battle of Ontario, I'm telling you right now, put your money on Toronto to get out of that first round.
Shanahan's still there, right?
I don't even know.
No, I think Shanahan left last year.
Yeah,
Really?
I don't even know.
Huh. Now, the manager is not with Edmonton anymore.
No, the
is he?
manager's not. Edmonton made it again. So your matchups are the Kings and the Oilers in the West, the Stars and the Avalanche, which is going to be off the hook, the Golden Knights and the Wild, and this one is going to be a hell of a series. The Jets, who have the best record and the best goalie in Connor Hellebuck, against the Blues, who were red hot going into the last couple of weeks of the season. The Blues could upset the Jets.
When did the name Connor become the name in hockey?
Yeah.
Connor Bernard, Connor McDavid.
Yeah, you're right. Good call.
I think he's still with the Maple Leafs.
He is still there, yep.
And on the East, you got the Bolts and the Panthers, Battle of Florida. The Caps and the Canadians, the Hurricanes and the Devils. Devils always get the Canes. Devils can't beat the Hurricanes. And the Leafs and the Senators. Starts tomorrow.
Who you got, Matt?
Should be fun. Tough call, man.
I'm going to go Oilers, Maple Leafs.
Wow. Canada.
Finally.
That would give them their first championship since '93.
Yep. They're doing it this year.
I'm going to shock everyone. I'm going to say the Blues in the West. And in the East, I'm going to say Ovechkin and the Caps.
Ooh, that would be a good one.
I got Stars Capitals. I think Dallas gets through to the finals this year. They're a wagon right now. Obviously, they went and got Rantanen, so you just got another player to throw out there. Yeah, give me the Stars and the Capitals. And give me the Capitals to win it all, dude. Give Ovi another cup before he retires.
Ovi already has a cup.
Give him another one.
I like that. Oh, me. Let's see here. I'll go with the Edmonton Oilers. I feel like every year I pick Austin Matthews and I get let down. But here we go. Shout out to Tom T. Give me Toronto Maple Leafs versus
DJ Tom.
Edmonton Oilers. And I'm taking Connor McDavid.
This is it. Year 10 for him.
Yep.
McDavid.
I'm taking McDavid.
This is it for Connor.
They lost
McDavid.
in Game 7 last year to the Panthers.
Yep.
Shout out to King.
Hey, none of us picked the Panthers to repeat.
I'm actually rooting for the
Oilers.
I wanted to say for the manager.
The manager.
But the manager, by the way, is Ken Holland.
We love the manager.
He always refers to himself as the manager, never the general manager. So I gotta love Ken Holland, even though he's not with Edmonton anymore.
He's selling vacuums again.
Right. Very good. Tigers tonight. 10 straight games at home.
Yeah.
Last night they beat the Kansas City Royals 6-1. 3 hits from Riley Green. He needed that.
Finally.
Spencer Torkelson stays hot. 8 hits between Torque, Green, and Carpenter. You're going to win every night.
You are. Tonight you got Jackson Jobe going. See how long they let him stay in the game. And the ace for the Royals is Cole Reagans. He's going to be tough to beat tonight. Royals are favored tonight.
You going to the park tonight, man?
I was going to go, but it's Kathy and Maddie's like last night here before spring break.
Okay.
So I'll stay home with the ladies.
There you go.
I don't want to get too baseball nerdy here, but like what Reese Olson did yesterday with his changeup, this Tigers team and this Tigers pitching coaches, Chris Fetter and
What
AJ
school is he from?
Michigan.
Yeah. Chris Fetter is the best pitching coach in the MLB. They've found this. They call it seam shifted wake, which is what they use to have these changeups.
Listen to you.
Cut down and away towards the arm side. You see it on Scooble. Scooble's got one of the best changeups in baseball. It started last year where he learned that, and now you're seeing Reese Olson have it, where they're throwing these changeups at 89 to 90 miles an hour, and the seam shifted wake has them cutting away with like 17 inches of run away from batters. It's just crazy. They're
right.
getting these wipeout pitches.
That was inside baseball.
Yeah, it's
that
like you
That
saw.
was amazing, by the way.
Last night he had 5 strikeouts on his changeup. Scooble against the who was it? When Scooble's last start, he had 5 or 6 strikeouts
Bruins.
on his changeup. It is a swing and miss pitch, and they found this seam shifted wake that they're implementing amongst their pitchers. It's crazy.
That's because Tommy Canley probably taught him that pitch.
Also
Major knowledge. Major knowledge.
It's one thing to hear something. It's another thing to read it. It's another thing to be able to come on the show and eloquate like he just did. That's top notch. That's top notch.
Hey, I got a note from Pete. I got a note from
Let's
Pete.
go,
Let
Pete.
Pete cook.
let Pete cook.
Pete
Come on,
said,
Pete.
make sure you tell everyone to watch the Classic Tournament Playoff tonight. He's playing pinball in
Gotta support
Kalamazoo, It's on Twitch at 8:15.
I thought you were gonna say
The
ESPN.
channel. Put this in the chat there, Spenny.
Yeah.
It's called YPSI Pinball. That's
Let
the channel.
Pete.
Let
cook.
Pete cook. Pete's in the top 10.
I know. He's number 8, right?
How about it?
Oh, look at you.
Amazing.
Let's
What
go.
is it, YPSI?
YPSI. That's the
38
channel.
38 years ago, a question was asked, will you sign a contract? And the man said, yes. Hulk Hogan went to WrestleMania and slammed Andre the Giant down the street.
Oh.
WrestleMania is this weekend. Will your boy
Where
get
is
a
it?
17th title? You can't see him. John Cena. It's in Vegas.
Nice.
It's in Vegas. John Cena will take on Cody Rhodes. And I think
Cody.
How many WrestleManias
Jimmy,
do they do a year?
is it Jay Uso?
There's only
You said
one
what?
WrestleMania.
It seems like there's
This
17
is 40
WrestleManias a
No,
year.
they do
It's 40
different events, like different major
There's
events.
4
They're
major.
like Money in the Bank.
41, yeah, 41.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's like WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Money in the Bank,
No, Royal Rumble.
Royal Rumble,
Rumble.
SummerSlam,
And WrestleMania.
WrestleMania.
Those are the 3.
Bray, get us out of here, my friend.
Happy
Appreciate you
Easter,
guys.
everybody.
Happy Easter, happy Good
Enjoy
Friday.
your
Happy
family.
He is risen.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
You
He
get
is
us out of here.
risen.
Man. You go.
God bless everybody. Enjoy your families. Whether you
Whatever you celebrate.
whatever you celebrate,
Don't fight
Easter
on
or
holidays
not.
with
Hey,
your
it's the
family.
Greek Orthodox as well.
Greaster.
It usually falls a week. This is very rare. I guess
Yes.
it happens every 7 or 8 years
Yeah.
where Greek Orthodox Easter falls on the
Same day.
same as the Christian.
I was invited to
Easter.
Greek Easter. this
Yeah,
year.
right. Yeah, it's good. So happy Easter, whatever you celebrate. Honor your families.
Amen.
He is risen.